women in STEM jobs in India. Those are the current figures for all India. These are the reasons. These are the reasons that from childhood this is happening. Now, when you look at Agastya's work, I'm not saying we are directly going to increase that ratio, but the way children are treated in our classes, in our sessions, the way we try to give girls a heads up can enable more women getting into STEM. So that is a context that I'd like you to remember. So like I said, there were two reasons I gave the name towards an inclusive workplace. Because yes, of course, it is about posh and popso, but it's about something much larger than that. Let's just go to the next slide. Okay, so on the right, you can see the SDGs, and the UN SDGs are on the right, and we all know about number 5, which is gender equality. So gender mainstreaming, what is it? So loud and clear it says, integration of a gender perspective in design, preparation, implementation and monitoring of policies and programs. It is an internationally recognized champion medalist, and that's what our society is about. So we are definitely going up the down staircase. So this is the context for Agastya, a validity of why we should do this work. Now, if you look at your phones in Prerna, there will be a link. Please go to that link. There are 5 questions. Please answer them independently. Don't consult. If anyone wants translation, we are happy to translate. 4 of them are yes and no. The 5th has options. So can you take 5 minutes to please answer the poll?
Know that for truth, there is different ways. There are different ways. And this video, especially the Komal video, is for adult, not for children. It is for adult because it is also says protection. So we are standing for protection of children. For that we have to understand from what we have to protect. And what are the changes we can see in the child if something happened to that child. In Komal video, we clearly see the behavioral changes of the child, which child has gone through such bad situation. So, being an adult, we should understand what actually happened to the child and how we can approach the child so that we can emotionally support the child. The second half of the video, where adult who is trained, she will come and explain the child what actually they should be aware of. That is the softer side of the Komal. So that can be done, but not cutting of this video into 2 parts. So this is no, because it is for adult to understand. I hope all of you have seen this video. When we see Komal, after in the training also, when Komal is shown and we ask for reflection, there will be a utter silence. Because it is difficult to emotionally overcome for ourselves, being an adult. So what about the child? Yes, it is hard truth, but there is a way to go through that. Train the child in that way. So that is why all of us need to understand this should not be shown to students. This is for us, adult, to understand. Okay? Second question. Last year, Agastya team gave posters and cards on POSH and POXO to partner schools. There was a case of sexual harassment in one school. A teacher had harassed another school employee. The teacher is in the school teacher. An Agastya lady instructor was called by the school authorities to be part of the committee examining the offence. This is a part of her role. 57.5% yes, 42.5% is no. The answer is no. I want at least 2 members or 3 members to say why it is yes. Good, and they will never commit posh-POXO offences. Therefore, they need not pay much attention to the policies and trainings. This attitude is correct. 90% no, 10% yes.
So refresher trainings on POSH W and POXO can be made optional. So here again, 86% says no, 13% says yes. So again, previous point recalling, these trainings are very mandatory because we have seen cases coming up. In fact, Slido also had some questions on that, and last year 3-4 cases have been come. So these trainings are very mandatory, and all the focal points of all regions have been trained. Structure has been made. Whether it is a refresher training, this portion has to be completed. If it is a induction training, 1.5 days training has to be done. So POSH W and POXO trainings are mandatory, and these are not optional. Agastya should understand gender discrimination and gender equality issues because, so of course responses says that 86% all of the above, but let us go through each and every option. It helps us to understand the importance of Agastya's POSH W and POXO policies. Then second option is, second thing is, it helps us to be more caring, which is core value in Agastya. The fourth C. It helps us to have a good relationship with colleagues, students, and students of other gender. Option 4, all of the above.
So most people have answered.
Yes, most people have answered all of the above, but we have some reds and blues. So this is like all 3 points are very important. So under the SISS, under the umbrella of caring, everything fits in. So it is important that all these 3 points should be made during this case.
This is a slide that we show in training. So it's a little arbitrary, we made it ourselves. So we are saying the y-axis says nature of offense and the x-axis says seriousness of the offense. So basically, we I think are quite safe in saying that assault, rape, murder and things like that, God willing, will not happen in Agastya forums. But many of the cases that are coming in the 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4. So, just in case anyone is under the impression that no cases are there in Agastya, I would like to tell you that yes, there are cases. And the cases are coming here. And then I just want to say that it is very difficult when you think of how much trouble women take to come to the workplace. And then they are faced with this kind of thing in our workplace. And we don't even know about it. See, that is another thing about these offenses. People don't know about it. It may be happening in the next room and you don't know about it. So again, this goes back to the point that everybody has to be aware and everybody has to be vigilant and everybody has to be part of this effort. Now, if we go to the next one, I just want to tell you, sorry, I'm all confused. Yeah. So what kind of cases, I've already said, bottom 4 boxes. Then, very often, the offenders have not read the policy. What's your problem? You have signed saying you've read the policy. You have not bothered to see. So the offences are things that are listed clearly in plain language. If you do this, it is an offence. So which is why all of us, especially those at leadership, manager, middle manager, please be aware, read the policy, make sure that everybody has read it. And like I said, somebody has not read the policy, it's not acceptable that women and children are harassed in Agastya forums. Believe you me, Sai sir, the committee members are here, ex-committee members are here, we have seen cases like that. People just don't know the details. Oh, I didn't know this was an offense. Right? So this is very important. Okay, so refresher training, unfortunately 87% of us have said yes. And please don't break our hearts by saying, why do we have to have refresher trainings? Do we have to do 1-day refresher trainings? 1 day in a year is all we are asking for. So we must do that. Okay? The other thing is, last year we did them online, this year we are doing them offline. Every time in the refresher training, there is only about 20% of POSH and POXO. The rest of it is all the other things that we can do to change things. Okay? Alright, now we start looking at the mainstreaming part of it. So, basically, if you take, what are all the ingredients for mainstreaming? And so these I'm going to be putting up one by one. Over the last year, more and more people have got into this work, and I want a big clap for the focal points, regional focal points, who have started doing the trainings. They are doing the induction trainings. They have done the first time training for staff, drivers, helpers. So in all the regions, maybe 1 or 2 regions are still, it has to be done, but they have done it. Which also means that we have written down all of it and we have passed it on to them. Brilliant coordination follow-up done by Malini. Big clap for Malini. I have actually been out of it. And then during the last year, she has handled it all. And always the support of Sony and the training team for whatever we wanted in the training. When we don't have a resource person, Sony has stepped in to do the training himself. Another clap, please. So here, we've got more and more people into it. Another thing we did, Ramji has given us a lovely video on zero tolerance. We played in front of all, in the beginning of all the trainings, and the RMs and sometimes the area leads have come in to give a setting and a context, and they have explained the video to the participants. We know how much more seriousness there will be when RMs have come into it. So thank you everybody who's sort of now carrying this hot potato, if I may call it. Okay. Now, how did we do this? This is something that we've got a whole lot of training material. We have got training material for children, we've got training material for teachers, we've got plays, we've got skits, we've got movies, we've got games, we've got all kinds of things which are being put together in a resource kit. Now what we did, this work has got held up last year for various extraneous reasons, but what we did is we have written out a standardized training module so that other people can do the trainings. So this is something that is a terrific resource, not just within Agastya, but I feel that we could also offer it outside. Now, of course, this is fairly obvious. Some of this we had to do online, and the trainings are going on. But we wanted to start, but did not start, regular meetings with women staff. That is something that we wanted to do. We have done it sporadically, but we should institutionalize that. Okay. Then, building into this whole dish are these lovely events that we have had, which have fed into the same thing. For instance, the Women Scientist Quiz on International Women's Day. So all the names, because we had very few names, we would get one Marie Curie, one Kalpana Chawla, and some 4 names were there. If we said give names of women scientists, now we have 45, which have come back into the session plans, where children use it for group names. And of course the GCV, that was one lovely program we did during the pandemic. There are at least 50 or 60 families, Agastya-related families, who are continuing this. And I think I hope I have time to show you a little surprise at the end, which is related to GCV. Now, things like this, in fact, one of the online trainings, and very quickly I want to share this, one of our instructors said, "Ma'am, is it okay? My sister..."
People may not know what GCV is.
GCV is our Gender Champion Volunteer Program. We've shared it in all the trainings to make the home gender sensitive, right? So I think all of you are familiar, you've heard the case studies during training, people have recounted, how homes have changed, how children are more helpful. So I think everybody is familiar. Anyone who wants more details, get us started talking at lunchtime, we won't stop. So this Yeah, so in one of the trainings, one of the participants, an instructor, she said, ma'am, my sister is sitting with me, can she ask you a question? But my sister is not in Agastya. I said, she's most welcome. So that lady was going absolutely, she said, I have not seen a training like this on subjects like this in any other organization. And she was so thrilled. She said, do you do it for other people? This is the reaction that sporadically we are getting. For example, if the GCV volunteers go somewhere to some non-Agastya place, then we have a very positive reaction. So these are all things that strengthen the weave of this mainstreaming effort. Now this one, the obvious one, for mainstreaming, it has to be reflected in organization policies. POSH-POXO, we've spoken enough, it's there, we are one of the few organizations that is taking it very seriously, let me tell you. I mean, although my canvas may not be very broad, but whatever I know, people are not taking it as seriously as we are. The other thing that we could do, and this is prospective, a very simple thing is language. What is the language we use in our documents? Chairperson instead of chairman. S/HE, she, he. You know, there's a whole, there are manuals that tell you how to just use the appropriate language in official. This is easily done. And see, some of these things, obviously, a small group has to sit, make a proposal to senior management and see, do we want to do it or we don't want to do it? Do we have it built into our recruitment policy? I don't know. And we can talk about it later. But this is an important thing for mainstreaming. We give a lot of chances, but is it built into the recruitment policy itself? Because stating these are very obvious. Okay. Now, reflected in roles and responsibilities. Now, we started doing this. For instance, I also want to say, see, this doesn't involve much work. You know, along with your regular work, you just have to do these 2-3 things. Like, for example, in the RMs, every time you're coming and introducing the trainings, that gives you a lot of weight. Are you talking to the new joinees? Are you having regular, just talking to the focal points? Did anything come up in the field? You know, that is preventive. So we can make a list of very simple tasks at every level where vigilance is there, you know. So you know that everybody is aware, Big Brother is watching you, we don't want any offenses, we will prevent and we will have a new culture. So this is again something where we have to do a little detailed work. Now, integration into programs and projects. One very simple thing that we have already done, POXO guidelines are in the QA, right? Do not touch any child. That is already in the QA. We can do this for example, the thing of having gender disaggregated data. Now, I don't know if it is being done in impact assessment, but whenever we are collecting data, if we look at data separately for women and girls, we might find different things. I don't know, when we plan a project, and this is all in the realm of thinking, we have to work detail on it. When we plan a project, do we think, does it have a different impact on women, on girl students and boy students? If it's not there, well and good. It's a uniform one-size-fits-all. The other thing is opportunities. I will talk, in fact, I had a chat with a lot of people before putting together this presentation. The volunteer program, Agastya volunteer program, when it started, I remember Nagesh asked me, said, what should we do about POSH-POXO? I said, the best we can do is get them to read it and sign it. These volunteers are coming from outside and they are going to handle children's sessions on our behalf. So the best we can do is, make them read it and sign it. Now, Shishan pointed out, why can't we do one more thing? There is a 6-hour module that these volunteers have to go through. This is online. Can we add half an hour about this with links to the larger program? Not much. Again, all this has to be discussed in detail Can we do it? Can't we do it? We are working with, say, other schools. Can we just tell them, look, we have such a program, it's here on our website. Do you want to look at it? Do you want something on it? And we can give different, I mean, depending on who it is. Like for YIS, we have a different program. For children, we have a different program. For adults, we have a different program. We can do short programs, long programs, fat programs, thin programs. We can do anything with a little work because the base material is all there. The other thing, I was talking to Manju, and Manju's here. I was talking to Manju, and again, this has to be discussed in detail, but we were thinking, why don't we just tell the teachers who come in TTP that we have such a program? Do you want some of it? Do you want to take it back to your school? Do you want a half-day session? We don't know. Like I said, all this has to be discussed, and we have to see whether it can be done. So there are a lot of places where we can spread the message, and eventually we are known as an organization that is doing this. I think it is, what is my dream? 10 years from now, if somebody says, I wish there were other organizations who do this and Agastya is doing this, I mean, that's absolutely terrific for me. So other programs we can think about. The last one was what? Yeah. Now, you know, when we did the Great Place to Work survey, the other one also came up, no? What is it? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Equity and inclusion. DEI. Now, when we looked at DEI, DEI has a lot of gender inclusion. Are you including other groups? Organizations are not doing well, and I think we were, at least Nagesh and I felt that we are not at the place when we can even attempt to answer that questionnaire, because many of the things we don't even figure in there, in that list. But if we do all this well, we can get outside agencies to certify us, which is big. Please open the Stanford Business School. You just do DEI survey and do Stanford. You will get who all the biggies are doing these surveys. All the biggies are into this. Just like design thinking, this is a big thing. This is a big thing for Agastya to do. So these are some of the future directions that one would think of going in, the direction in which we'd like to go. It needs a lot of work. Now, in terms of, this is just a slide about those specific responsibilities. So the STEM context we've spoken about. So finally, what does it do for organizational growth? You can see there are internal factors and external factors. Higher quality of results. I'm reading all the internal. Bigger pool of talents. Obviously, you're going to get many, or you're going to look at many groups. Employer satisfaction, happy workplace, no cases. I look forward to the day that ICC is genuinely jobless. There are no cases and no cases are reported. Not that there are no cases and that there are cases are not reported, but I look forward to a day when ICC is genuinely jobless. Attractiveness of employer, women will apply, qualified women will apply saying this is a great place to work. Better impact monitoring, and of course public reputation, which I spoke about a little earlier, saying Agastya is one organization that really believes in caring and gender equality. Then external, I think it has a lot of plus points for funding, contributes to sustainable growth, core values, and of course in accordance with the Constitution. Now I will quickly end here.
Being fast.
No, we started late. So I'm going to just rush through the, like I said, what is the dream? The dream is 10 years from now, Agastya is known as this organization that is doing all this. Please disrupt the status quo. We don't want this lousy world where women and girls are perpetually pulled back, and deliver on our promises. Now the surprise, and this is the last thing, is we have, in the Gender Champion Volunteer Program, we never got a chance to talk to the women, right? The men were our Agastyans, and we kept thinking maybe the women are thinking, what is this program? हमारा जीना तो हराम कर रहा है. Why are these fellows coming into the kitchen? Why are they disrupting our schedule? I'm just doing my work. Who is asking them to help? They don't even help properly. So that doubt was always there. And when we talk to the women online, obviously, husband ka organization hai. Are they telling the truth when they said? So I got one chance to talk to the person you're going to see. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.